Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Today is Saturday. It's September the 20th. And this morning I decided to do some stitching. I wanted to try to finish up one of my previously started 4th of July pieces. It was on my list of 12 things I wanted to do by the end of the month. And so before I even start on my AB Singo stitching, which is R today for me, that's Rosie Rhapsody, and I'll be pulling that out here in a minute to put my 100 stitches in it. But today, I really wanted to finish this piece, and I am happy to tell you that I did. This is called Pop by Lizzie Kate, and it's done. Now, when I started on this, I had the bottom star done and the blue firecracker up to about right here done, and that was all I had on this piece. So I did this blue yesterday evening, and then I thought, well, I could put it away and work on it another time. And then I thought, you know, these are blocks of color. I think they'll be easy enough to do, and they are. Now, the pattern calls for bugle beads, and I don't know what color the bugle beads were supposed to be because I don't have the number in my stash. But what I had in my stash were these gold bugle beads, and I put red little explosion beads out there to mark that they're exploding, to show the firecracker. And but otherwise everything is per the chart. This is a combination of DMC and one Gentle Arts and one sampler thread. Oh, they're two Gentle Arts, Oatmeal and Blue Jay. And then I did the rest were DMC. This was just 4 colors. It was really, really sweet. This is an old Lizzie Kate. I don't even know what year it was published. I don't even see it on here. But anyway, that's what it looks like. And then here's what mine looks like. I finished the other one that I had done, and I'm gonna make a project bag out of it, the Yankee Doodle Dandy. But this one, I think I may either do a flat fold, or I will do a band around a pillow, like put it over a denim pillow and let that be a decorative band for it or something. I don't know. But anyway, I just think it's great. It's a great little 4th of July piece, and I'm delighted to have it finished. And that in itself brings me back down to 35 whips. 35, yay, we're going back down. So that's important. But the other thing I want to share with you today is I got something in the mail. I had stitched this a while back, and I knew how I wanted to finish it. I wanted to finish it the way it was recommended on the chart because I had seen it fully finished at a retreat where it was gifted to me. And this is a Girl in Her Garden drum. I just think it is beautiful. And I think the finisher did a fabulous job on it. So there you have a girl in her garden. She put the beautiful velveteen on the top and the bottom. And it's quite hefty. It's going to stand beautifully. Isn't that gorgeous? So thank you so much. I'm so happy. Thank you, Michelle. Anyway, fully finished object for today. I'm putting it back in my storage so I can put it away for the spring and summer for next year. My husband said, what do you do with that? Is that a pin cushion? I said, well, it can be. You know, the soft top, I could put pins in it, but I won't. I said, this is going to be just a beautiful decoration piece that I put out in the summertime. So, love it. I think it's gorgeous. Okay, well, that is all the stitching I've gotten done so far today. We have attended our homeowners association annual meeting this morning. Then we went to the gym and had a workout, and then we went to lunch. And then when I got home, I started on this project that I wanted to continue on it till I finished it. And I'm so happy I did. Thanks for letting me share it with you. I'm going to take a break now and get my husband some supper, and then I'm hoping to come back after that and do my stitching for the AB Singo today, which is Rosie, Rhapsody, and have it where I can post that. And if I haven't done soon enough, I will share it with you, but otherwise I may share it with you in the morning when I share something else with you that maybe I've stitched for tomorrow's call, because I don't know what it's going to be yet. But anyway, thanks for letting me walk you through my journey as it happens, and thanks for coming along with me so caringly. I hope you have a great, great rest of your weekend. Happy stitching, everybody. Well, I am here to share with you my stitching now for my AB Singo for today. It's the 20th of September still, and today's letter was the letter R. And for me, the letter R was Rosie Rhapsody. This was my birthday start in 2024. And if you recall, I'm only going to stitch this portion of it because I have a frame that I want to put that in. So today I needed at least 100 stitches in this, and instead I got 344. I wanted to finish that centerpiece. There was one section of this stitched with maybe another flower or something like that, but I finished it up. So there you have it. It's done. It's finished. It's it looks a little off-center to me by maybe a stitch, but you know what? I followed the pattern, so that's how it's going to stay. I'm not going to worry about it. So there you have it. And that completes that whole section is done. And then now I've started on the second section of the top. So that's a good thing. So that's at least a quarter of the way done, just slightly over, just a few stitches over. But that'll be it. So let's talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow's call is for the letter S. And I have to go back and see what I had put for the letter S, because I think I just stitched on it. No, I can't stitch on it because I finished it. I knew there was something about the letter S that was a problem. I finished my Christmas trees and stitching please. So before tomorrow, I will have to pick something else that starts with an S and let that be my stitch for tomorrow for the AB Singo. I am fortunate enough that my local bingo game, again, the square that was called for tomorrow says an AB Singo call, so it can be whatever I substitute in for that S, and I'll be ready to go. So that's a good thing. Well, I'm going to say goodnight. It's not that late. It's only about 9:30, but I do want to straighten up the craft room and get everything ready for tomorrow, and then go down and spend a little time with my family and get to bed early. So I hope to have more stitching to share with you tomorrow. Happy stitching, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina, and today is September the 21st. It's Sunday afternoon, and I wanted to share with you what I've been stitching on today and tell you kind of how I arrived at the decision to do this today. My call in AB Singo for today was for the letter S, and I had originally had on my AB Singo board that I was going to do Christmas trees and stitching please, but I finished that already. So I decided to look for something different with an S. I also had on my monthly requirements for this month to start a second patriotic piece, and I really wanted to get that done. So I thought, well, let me see if I can find a patriotic piece that's, got an S in it. Well, I had this in my stash, and this is Heart and Hands. I'll turn it where you can see this tiny town. And if you notice, there are a lot of these tall, shallow, silo-shaped buildings. And I thought, that's it, there's my S. Now, I'm not stitching this in this long piece. I had decided I wanted to continue to make ornaments. I have a little metal tree that I like to put Patriotic on, and so I decorate it for different seasons. And so I took the tiny town and I split it up into 4 little sections, and I actually split it up and even eliminated maybe rows in between or little things so that I could have 4 ornaments that were all 40 by 30 stitches. So I had 4 that I knew would make the same size, and as luck would have it, the frill that came out to go with this is also 40 by 30. So that couldn't have worked out any better. And so that will give me the 5th one in the grouping. So I decided that for my S, I would start one of the 5 of the Patriotic groupings for my ornaments that are from the Patriotic Tiny Town pattern. And I am tickled to death to tell you that I not only started it, but I finished it. It was 343 stitches for mine, and I think it's adorable. It's going to be such a cute little ornament. So this one is finished, and it met my requirement for my AB Singo, and my bingo call today was for whatever AB Singo called for, so that met it. But even more than that, it allowed me to hit my monthly requirement goal of starting my 2nd Patriotic piece for the month. So now I only have one goal left on my monthly requirements, and that's to finish AB Singo, and we don't do that till the 25th. So I'm very excited about that. So I still have to work on 2 prompts for my Daily 30 group. I have to finish those stitches in Dressmaker's Daughter, and then I have to stitch 300 stitches in Old Glory Angel for the last O in Diamond Dot. So maybe I can get that done today. We shall see. But I am going to start on it. I'm going to try to get it done. I'm going to put this back away because I'm keeping all of these together in my Vanna bag. It's a, I think it was made, yeah, it's made by her style. This one is actually made by Vanna. It was a gift at a retreat, and I cherish it. So I've got my Patriotic Tiny Town in here. All my little pieces I've cut and marked as to how I'm going to stitch them so that they hit that 40 by 30 perfect size. Then they'll all be the same. That'll be wonderful. So the last thing I want to tell you for right now is that this morning, after taking care of our Sunday obligations that we do, my husband went out for a run, and I took it down all of my Patriotic decorations. I had left them up all the way through the first part of September because I had traveled a lot and just didn't have the time to change it out. So this morning I did. And I have changed out my dining room table setting. I've changed out my mantle, my little piece of sort of like a sideboard, I guess, in the hallway, and my guest room, which I didn't film. I should go back and do that, I guess. But anyway, I have everything changed out to fall, Thanksgiving, and Halloween, because I'm not changing anything again until Christmas. I still have some traveling to do, and I don't want to have to be changing it out too close together. This will just make it easier for me. So I just put a little bit of all of it out. So it's all there together. Anyway, I'll put in the video I took of it here. Well, it is fall, and it is, well, it's almost fall. I think we have a day before it's officially fall, but I had time today to decorate, so I want to show you. This year I'm using my table runner and placemats with the pumpkins on them, and my small fall leaf basket, which I've made a bed of leaves for it. And then try not to move too fast so I don't make you seasick. On the other side here is a harvest angel from Jim Shore, which I thought fit well for this time of year. And then we'll go into the entryway. So here's the entryway when you come in the front door. The first thing you will see is this beautiful piece of furniture we've had for a long time, and I like to decorate the top of it for each season. So I have several pumpkin pieces here and a couple of little small one's a Jim Shore turkey, and the other one's a little fall gnome. And I love those candy corn colored candles. I got those last year. I used them on the mantle last year. I'm using them here on the buffet this year. And I have my spring at Hog Run Hollow has come down. Let me see if I can get you out of the glare. And now we have Halloween Quaker by Lala Studios is hanging here. Okay, so here's the mantle. I kept it simple this year. I've got several Thanksgiving pieces, wishy-washy. There's the Saturday Evening Post I did years ago. There's Jumping in the Leaves. I'm not sure what the name of that is. And then there's a Turkey Time. And then there's my Just Nan Autumn. And then my Be Thankful on the end. Let me get a little bit closer so you can see it. There we go. And I just utilized some beautiful fall plaid napkins, actually. Those are napkins that I've just laid up there to cover the mantle like a little tablecloth almost. And I filled in with my little trio of pumpkins and some fall flowers, part of the same grouping from the that I used in the dining room. And here's my autumn pillow that I did a couple of years back. I've done that in winter. I've got the other 2 seasons yet to stitch. But anyway, there's the mantle. I'll step back enough for you to see it. And of course that stays up all the time. We don't take it down. It's too hard to get it up and down. So there's my season, and that's the bulk of the decorations. I do have a couple of little pillows on shelves by the back door and things like that, but this is the majority of it. I hope you've enjoyed that, and maybe you saw something that inspired you to, oh yeah, I've got that in my stash, I'll go back and stitch it. Anyway, I love everything that I have out for the fall. When I took everything out today, had to find a place to put it all. I thought, oh, I'm actually getting quite a bit of fall stuff together. This is great. I will tell you though, I had to move a lot of Christmas out of the way to get to it, and I really have a lot of Christmas. And here I've started all those Christmas in July. It doesn't matter. I love it. And I can swap it out. I don't have to use the same thing every year, so that's fine. We stitch because we enjoy stitching, right? We don't have to put everything out, do we? Not all at once, anyway. I hope you're having a great restful day. This is the end of the weekend. It's a day of rest. I hope you are resting. I hope you are doing well, and I hope you have a great week. So I may be back later tonight with more stitching, or it may be in the morning. But either way, I hope you're doing great, and I hope you enjoy your crafting. Happy stitching, everybody. Hello again, everybody. It's later on the 21st of September, and I was able to complete one of my acrostic letters today. I pulled out my dressmaker's daughter again, and I knew I needed 230 stitches because I had stitched 137, somewhere in there, previously. I had it written down, and I had calculated that I needed 230 stitches to get the 300 I needed for the daily 30. So today I pulled it out, and I saw that the first day that I stitched on it, I'd stitched more of this light purple background because I had a part thread, and I stitched it out, and then I went ahead and stitched until I got that 137 stitches in it, or whatever I made. Anyway, I got to the end of this first 7 rows. So today I had a part thread back here in this color in the background. So I stitched the first 7 rows of background there so that I'm moving across kind of evenly. And then when I finished that thread off, I said, oh, I still need something like 20 something stitches. So I went in and put in these little dark green ninja stitches so that I wouldn't have to count, and I could just do fill in for a few rows, or at least around these flowers. And then I took this color and I did a strand or 2 of background in that color. And I wound up getting a total of 421 stitches because I just kept going till I ran out of my floss. So that was good. So I've worked on 3 seasons, so that's a good thing. And 421 stitches have been added to this, so that's more than enough to meet the prompt in the Daily 30 group. So I'm excited about that. That's another thing off of my list that I had made for the month that I wanted to accomplish. So now, the fun thing I do at this point will be plans for the future. So we'll talk just briefly about some imminent plans for just between now and the end of the month. The first thing I want to do is pull out my Old Glory Angel, because that's the final letter in my acrostic in my Daily 30 group. The acrostic is Diamond Dot, and that Old Glory Angel, the O, is the last O that I need, and I need to put 300 stitches in that. So that's going to be a bit of a push to get that finished. And then that means I have finished all of my acrostics. I have finished the La Vuelta. And then by the 25th of the month, I will have finished the AB Singo. And so what's going to tell me what to stitch, right? Well, here are my thoughts. I would like to look at a few of my projects that are these Christmas things I started back in July, and put some stitches in them, at least pick one and push it forward closer to a finish. I also want to do a little organization in my craft room. So I have a good number of project bags that I've either made or have been gifted to me or I've purchased over the years. And the majority of them are fabric bags. I had a good number that had vinyl fronts, and I still use some of them, but I have gifted away several of them, because when you use these in a vinyl front bag, you can see what happens, right? The vinyl front folds over here and you get creases in the vinyl. It just does not work well with the vinyl front bag. So I try to use my vinyl front bags for smaller projects where I'm only going to put a few floss on a ring to drop in there and won't necessarily tie up a floss box. But That means I have a lot of bags that are totally cloth and you can't see what's inside of them. And when you only have 2 or 3 things going, you can remember what's inside of them. But I have a lot more now. And I can't always remember what's inside of them anymore. I have to open them and look. So my friend Donna and I received a gift from one of our stitchy friends on our Saturday meetup at the library, who had made us a project tag. And on the tag had a pretty picture on the front and had words on the back, so you could write the name of your project, the fabric you're using, the date it started, any little details that you want to do. So I had a picture of Harley and Coco together, and Donna and I put these as project tags, and we gifted them at our latest retreat. This was what we were giving people. I would like to take these and actually put them on my projects. I have not used them yet. And so I have also made another one, and it's with just Coco, because this was a gift from Donna and I'd like to keep these for gifts that we give out. And so I've made another one that I could actually use on my project bags, and it'd be okay if I run out of those. So one of the projects I want to do before the end of the month is to pull out all of my project bags that are solid fabrics and attach a project tag. Now, this is to attach to a zipper pull, but I also have those little pins, the little pins that look like these light bulb pins. I'm taking one off of a card right now to show it to you. And I think these would be a great way to attach my project as well. So that is something I want to do, and I have that on my list in my plans. So hopefully I'll get that taken care of and do a little reorganization. I would also like to take a bin and pull out all of my 3 months to the finish line projects and put them in there so that I can have that bin sitting next to me for the next couple of months until I complete that game, because that'll be here before you know it. And we'll see how that goes. So a little bit of organization to do, a little bit more stitching. I thoroughly enjoyed working on my Let Love Reign so much for the bicycle race game. So I very well may just take a day a week and put some stitching in it, or I may work on it, 2 or 3 times a week, because that is one I want to finish by June. I need to push it forward, but I have gift stitching I need to do too. So let's talk about that. I have gift stitching for my friend Cheryl. I need to finish December quilt. It's in my 3 months to the finish line for that reason. I have a gift stitch for my sister, and that is probably going to be for her birthday or next Christmas, because that one, I had no idea it was going to take me this long to do it. It's got a lot of stitches, a lot of color changes, but I do need to put some time in that as well. So you may be seeing those a little more frequently as the year gets to a close, and even in the beginning of next year. I also want to mention that I have selected my birthday start, which is Cabin in the Woods. And if any of you have it and want to start it, or if you're working on it, you want to stitch on it with me, my birthday's in December, and I would love, love, love for any of y'all to start that with me. I already have a couple of people that are, and so feel free to join that if you'd like. If you are not interested in that particular one, but you do have a project that has a house in the woods, or just a big house that you want to stitch on for my birthday, do it. I just let me know, and I would feel like we're having a birthday party. So that'd be great. You got time to think about that and plan, because it's not till December. I think that's everything. I'm going to clear all this away. I've got some tidying up to do. I've got I've had finishes, so you know what that means. I have to unkit those projects. So those flosses and project bags and things are sitting around, and I need to get them out of my way. They're distracting me. So I will do that today, since I have a little time. And in the meantime, I hope you are hitting all of your goals. I hope if you want to set goals and meet them, I hope that's what you do. And if you just rather just kind of go whichever way your mood takes you, that's good too. Just do that so that you enjoy what you're doing. But either way, have a great evening. I'll talk to you soon. And until then, happy stitching. Good afternoon, everybody. It is September 22nd, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about my stitching. Yesterday evening, I started working on my final acrostic letter O in Diamond Dot in the 24 Hours of Daily 30 group. And my O stood for Old Glory Angel. It's one of the ones that I started as one of my first patriotic pieces for the 25 that I'm working on for the 250th anniversary. And today I picked it back up and I finished, because I needed 300 stitches. I finished that, but I realized when I got to the end of 300 stitches, all I had left were a couple of rows down here before these points. And I thought, I can't just stop that. I need to finish that blue. So I went ahead and finished the blue. When I did, that actually gave me 403 stitches total. So now my acrostic for my Daily 30 is complete. My acrostics for 24 Hours of Cross Stitch and Monthly Magazine Challenge were already finished. And so this finishes up the final acrostic, which is great. And I'm happy also to report to you that I spent time yesterday pulling out all of my whips, and any of them that were in solid fabric bags now have a tag on them, a project tag on them that tells me the name and the fabric and the date I started it, just a little bit of information so that I can make sure I have the exact pattern in the right bag should they get separated. And I'm excited that I got that done. Then I alphabetized my Christmas whips, and they take up 2 of my bins. They're not packed tight anymore, but they fit in there nicely. And then my other active whips I alphabetized separate from Christmas, and they now take up 2 bins. So I have 2 more bins over there, but they're kitted. They're things that I had looked at for potential starts this year or next year, things I know I want to start. And so I have those. I have not gone through those yet because I made the decision. I was not going to make a project card on something until it's a project, until I've actually pulled it to start it. So there you go. So now, even though it is 3:56 in the afternoon, I'm about to start my AB Singo stitching. And my AB Singo stitching today is Autumn in the Village, and I need 100 stitches. And chances are, that's what I'm going to put in here, 100 stitches, but I'll let you know. So I may be back shortly, might be just a few seconds for you, but I'm going to get some stitching done on that, and I hope to come back and share it with you very quickly. Happy stitching, everybody. Hi, everybody, I'm back. Well, I'm excited to share this with you. My AB Singo call today was Autumn in the Village. And I am working on the house right here that's near the end. And I had the bottom of the house done, and I had started working on this roof in here. I did the white part of the sign last time, and today I did all of the roof right above it for 119 stitches. So this will show you a little bit better. I did the heart, and then I did all of the 3 colors of green that are in there for the shading on that next stage of the roof. And since it's AB Singo Bingo stitching, I want to share with you the progress I've made on both. So I have a bingo for AB Singo. I have one so far. I have the potential of one here because we only have, what, 3 days left now? Depending on how they get called, I could do one here or here. And I guess I could do a couple of them up here that only require 2 or 3. So there's still plenty of opportunities, but at least I got one. So 1 bingo so far on AB Singo. And then on my local bingo game that I'm playing with some friends of mine, this was the pattern we had to hit this month. And today's call finished it. So there are 3 left that haven't been called yet. So I still hope to black out the board, but I got my bingo. I'm excited about that. So now, tonight, when I'm Zooming, I'll be Zooming with some stitching friends tonight, and I'll be stitching with them. I'm going to look for something that's easier to see, not so many color changes, and work on that this evening. And I think I have in mind what I'm going to do. I think, let me close this up. This is how many colors are in Autumn in the Village. There's a few color changes in that. Okay, so I think that for my Zoom call tonight, I'm going to pull this back out. Rudolph's Reindeer Games. Because I think I got finished with the wording up to Rudolph. I think I have these 2 done. And so tonight, I could either do I could do the outline of the deer and do all that block stitching, or I might work on this thing at the top and then come back down and finish it later. But this is the one I think I'm going to work on during my Zoom call tonight. So I'll show you where I'll be starting from. So that's what I have so far. So when you see it next, it'll be after another session of me working on it, hopefully this evening. But for now, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to feed my husband supper and myself some supper, and we'll go from there. Thanks for letting me share all my stitching with you. I have Darling Bluebell on my screen up here. I'm watching her parade, her whip parade of all the whips that she's worked on since her last whip parade, and she does such beautiful work. Such beautiful work. If you're not watching her, you should. Anyway, so I'll be looking back at her again when I get back home until it's time to Zoom. And then I can be stitching and talking with friends. I'll come back and share the progress with you, though, that you can count on. Happy stitching, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Good evening. It is late in the evening on September 23rd, but I wanted to come by and just catch you up on the stitching that I did today. It was a busy day today. In addition to getting my hair cut and buying groceries today, I was able to get some stitching in between. So the first thing I accomplished was my AB Singo call for today. And my AB Singo call for today was for the letter H. And for me, that was going to be Hope and Love, but I'd already finished it. So I changed it out for Hillis in Sue Hillis, and that is for her Christmas piece, a Wintry mix. And so I pulled this one out, and I was working on this tree, and I wound up putting in 4 more of the red poinsettias at the bottom of the tree, and that was 208 stitches. I only needed 100, so that was a good accomplishment on that one. I was glad to see that I could meet that one. So, In addition to that, yesterday I started working on a project just to put extra stitches in it to push it toward a finish, and I got a lot of stitching done on it, and I felt like if I put another day or two into it, I could get it knocked out, and I did. So I have finished tonight Rudolph's Reindeer Games. Now, there is a piece that I left off of here. There's a huge piece of snow at the bottom, and it says, I think there's 3 words in it. Here it is. It says dashing, dancing, and prancing. And that's very pretty, but I don't want mine that big. And so I just decided that I had gotten to the end of where I wanted it to be, because I am kind of toying with the idea of turning this one into a project bag. So if not, then I may turn it into a little pillow. So I just want it to be small enough, you know, that I can make it this size, and I didn't need it any larger. So I had decided I was going to not do the bottom, and when I decided that, I thought I'm going to stitch it till I'm finished with it. But I love it. It's got the snow hanging onto those letters, and just a lovely piece. Lovely piece. This was one of the kitted projects from our Lake House Stitchers group. And the lady that gifted it to us had gifted us this little sled to mount it on. But I want to use this little sled for something else. So that's why I said I may make this into a project bag or a pillow. And I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to finish something else on it. So you'll have to wait and see. But anyway, that's another finish. So I'm real excited about that. Now, what that also means is I didn't get around to my bingo stitching today, because it was not a call for whatever was called for, so I couldn't use a Wintry mix. My bingo call today is for a patriotic piece, but I have actually already finished my bingo. So I wasn't too worried about it. I will try to pick it up tomorrow and catch it up, if I can. That will be the next thing that I do. And so I'll have the call then for the 24th is whatever AB Singo is. And AB Singo for tomorrow is the number 9. So I get to do 9 of whatever I do. So I was thinking that it might be okay, since I just did so much work on a patriotic piece, that I just not do that one, and I'll just skip it and go ahead and just do my AB Singo call tomorrow and let that be it. And then the last one that'll be called on here is a Christmas piece, and I just finished a Christmas piece tonight. So it's sort of like I'm stitching these a day ahead of when I need them, but I am definitely getting the stitches in them. So that's a good thing. So I will share with you when I get the 9 stitched tomorrow, I'll have a second bingo. So this 9 right here will give me a bingo across this way. And I already had a bingo this way. So I will have 2 bingos by the end of the AB Singo call, because 9 is tomorrow. I don't know what the last one will be, but I don't, unless it's E, that would be the only way I could get another bingo. It would have to be E to do that. Oh, or 1, I guess I could get a 1 this way. Well, my goodness, or 6 this way. I had more chances than I think. So, hey, this is still quite curious to see how that's going to turn out. Anyway, so I'm creating my little to-do list for tomorrow. And so we have got a full morning of appointments and erranding and things that we'll do. So I will not get to stitch until later in the day tomorrow. So I'll do the best I can when I get home. But I am excited that I got to finish today, so that was great. And I hope to have at least a little bit of stitching to share with you tomorrow. In the meantime, happy stitching, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. It's been a busy morning. My husband and I dropped Coco off for her grooming this morning, and we headed for the laboratory for him to do a quick lab test, and headed off to have breakfast together. And when we finished all that, we headed back by the optometrist so that he could pick up some new glass frames or pick out some new frames for glasses. And we got all that done. And in the meantime, we got a phone call that Coco was ready. And so as soon as we finished picking out glasses, we came straight over and picked Coco up and came home. So I've made us a quick bite for lunch, and then I settled back to stitch. Now, while we were running errands all morning, I did a tiny bit of stitching. I'm trying to catch up for my my bingo call from yesterday, which was to stitch on a patriotic piece. And that was for the 23rd. And so I pulled out my Teresa Kogut biscornu that I'm working on. I'm going to do berry bowls, and I'm going to do medallion corners. And this one is the one I started at retreat. So I pulled it out, and I'm working on the border, and I put another 136 stitches, this whole section here, in the border. So I'm just working my way around each time that I have to work on it. So I'm going to put this away for now because that was to catch up from yesterday. And then today's call on my AP Singo is the number 9. So I have to pull out something that I can do 9 items of, whether it be 9 motifs, 9 letters, 9 something. And originally I had said I was going to do 9 triangles on a Christmas piece that I had started, but I've looked at it and I'm not close enough to the area that I need to stitch. I'd have to count a lot to start on the border. So I'm going to rethink that. I'm still going to have to do 9 something. So I'm going to pull out my whips and see what that fits best with. Now, the good news is my bingo call is for anything that's an AB Singo call. So whatever I pick to do for the 9 motifs, that will count for my bingo as well. So I wanted to show you this too. I mentioned that I was doing project tags. So here's my latest project tag. There's Coco. And you can see over here I've got medallion corners, the fabric, and the date I started it. And but this helps me when these are all sitting in bins to be able to very quickly identify which project is what. And I also took the time to alphabetize them. And that way I know about where to look for them in alphabetical order. And so I just attached my tag to my zipper pull. And there's Coco. So I'll put this away now, and I will pull out what I'm going to figure out what I'm going to stitch for AB Singo, and I'll hopefully be back to share that with you later. Happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. It is the 27th of September. I've been absent a day or so, but I've been working at our emporium at the church. I didn't even stitch at all yesterday, but today I did. And I've been working on I Hear the Bells. And as you know, I am working on mine to be the drum, this round one. It's stretched out there. And I was thinking I would finish it tonight, and I almost did. And then I got to thinking about how am I going to fully finish it, and do I need to make any adjustments before I get to the end? And here's the predicament. This is where I got to. I have finished all of the top now, I finished all of this bottom, and I was working on the ornaments at the end. And this is half an ornament here, and the other half has to be over here for it to meet in the middle for the round for the drum. But I started measuring this to see how big I needed the circumference to be, because I would really like it if I could find a little box, a little round box, or a round candle, like a big Yankee candle, that this could fit around, and it would make it for an easier finish for me, and I wouldn't have to make it into an official drum with the top and everything. Well, I went and measured a box that I had in the closet that I thought would be about the right size that I would want to use. And it is much longer here than I expected. It was about 18 inches long. This I have two choices with. This is on a 28 count, and so I have a choice. If I stitch all of the ornaments in this thing, if I stitch all of these, it will be 14.35 inches from end to end that will have to meet up. If I'm trying to make it a little bit smaller to fit something that I can find prefabbed, I need to leave out 2 ornaments. I've stitched these 3. I would need to leave out this one of these 2 ornaments here, and I would need to leave out this one. So in other words, I would stitch one hanging down, and then I would stitch this little piece. So 2 of these, whether it be these 2 or these 2, would have to be left out. But that would give me 12.85 inches, right at 13 inches. So I don't know if I'm going to find anything with these dimensions at all at the store. I'm going to go tomorrow and look. Hobby Lobby won't be open, but Michael's will be, and I could go just take a gander and see how hard that's going to be. And it may be that I just wind up having it made into a drum as it was intended, because I didn't think about it soon enough when I started it to leave this off. Had I not stitched this part of an ornament, then I could just tie them together in the back and make it fit whatever I have, you know, just tie it around. And I guess I could, if I'm going to finish that way, I just had this thought, I could come here and stitch the other half of this ornament and finish it on this end, and stitch the remaining ornaments over here except for that half. And then I could fully finish it and put ties on the end of it, and I could tie it around whatever size I can get close enough to fit. So there's another option for me. So I'll go tomorrow and look and see what I can find to fully finish it on. Whether I'm going to be able to tie it around a candle or a box, or whether I'm going to have to just make it into a drum. But anyway, I decided at this point I can't finish it because I don't know how to stitch it yet until I know what I'm going to put it on. So I had to stop. Anyway, I was Zooming with friends tonight, and they were teasing me terribly about the fact, oh, you're not going to get that finished tonight. You're not going to get that finished this month. I'm going to get it this month. I'm going to try my best to get it this month. But anyway, so thanks for letting me kind of work through something with you. I don't know if that's helpful or not, but as you are stitching your projects, sometimes it helps to think about how you want to fully finish them, or it does me. So that I can make adjustments while I'm stitching it, or before I even start stitching it, if I know soon enough what I want to do, so that it fits what I want it to fit. And I'm doing that more and more as I go, because I'm wanting to finish things the way I want to finish them, and not, you know, just frame everything. So that's it. That's all the stitching I got done today. It was 502 stitches, which is nothing to sneeze at, but that is all I've accomplished in the stitching realm. So I hope you're having a great weekend. I hope you have a great restful day tomorrow. And I will talk to you soon and hopefully have more stitching to share. Happy stitching, everybody. There's a choice of balls.